Hi, everybody. Hope you're all doing well in our unusual weather. It's 94 degrees where I am right now. Pretty warm and balmy. Um, but I have had a problem. The other day, I'm doing my dishes in the dishwasher, trying to do it the quick and simple way. And I start hearing water coming from a place where it should not be coming from. And I thought, well, that doesn't make sense. That can't be right. I look up under the sink, and lo and behold, the water from the dishwasher, when it drains from the dishwasher, it backs up into the regular drain and it's supposed to just float away. But oh no, there's some leak somewhere under there between the dishwasher and the garbage disposal, and it was raining the dirty water from the dishes under the sink. So of course I had to panic and like try to get something under there to catch the water. Then the bathroom sink got plugged up. Really? The kitchen and the bathroom sink getting plugged up at the same time? What are the odds? So I tried to do the whole plunger thing. That wasn't working. What a joke that was. All that did was make whatever the gunk is that stuck further down in there come up into the sink, and now it's all just kind of sitting there together. So it was like, okay, clearly this is a job that I am incapable of handling by myself. I mean, I can do some stuff, but um, that I don't know how to handle. So I went online because I figured, of course, I'm going to need to get a plumber. I'm going to need to get someone that knows what they're doing to come in here, handle both situations at the same time so I can be happy with clean dishes, clean bathroom sink, water and everything flowing the way it's supposed to, where it's supposed to flow, not on the floor. I ended up having to like throw out a lot of stuff that was under the that I keep under the kitchen sink because it all got wet and stinky and smelly, and with the heat it made everything that much worse because it's like the heat as a factor with all that moisture was like multiplying my issues. So I had to clear everything out from under the sink, open that cupboard door under the sink so that maybe the heat can help that dry out. Um, and so there was no standing water under there. And in the bathroom, like I said, I tried with the little snake thing that they show on TV that you just uncoil this thing, you stick it down and you pull it out, and if there's hair or anything down there, it's supposed to all come back up. Well, it didn't all come back up. A little bit came up, and I had on rubber gloves and pulled that off, but my sink is still clogged. So I went online and typed in, professionals in my area that do plumbing and do this and do that because I know that the price can be high for plumbing stuff, especially if you're not standing over someone like a hawk watching them do every single thing to make sure they're not fooling around and they're really doing the job. Um, so I decided to go through a reputable organization which has a membership. So you pay $29.99 per year and you become a member and you save 20% off of every service that you need through that organization. So I said, okay, I'll sign up that way. Signed up for a plumber, put in the description of what my issues were, set the time for them to come. And I said, no, no, it's not an immediate emergency. I don't need you to rush out right now because, if you say it's an immediate emergency, the price is going to go up because they're going out of their way to get there a little quicker. It's kind of like the same thing that happens for those driving companies that take people around. If you want to get somewhere in more of a rush, the price seems to go up. If you say, I can wait a little bit, but can it happen by this within this time period, then the price goes down. So that's what I did. I said, I have, until this amount of time I can work with it. A few hours go by, I get a text message. Hey, can we switch that time to such and such a time on such and such day? It's like, but wait a minute. I've already scheduled this. I've already scheduled it and prepaid, and my money's just kind of on hold, waiting for you to come and just do the job. You had on the website what time was available. I'd appreciate it if you just kind of like come do the job, please. Do the job and then leave. Live happily ever after. You're getting paid, and I can have clean working sinks. It ended up that that person works for one company. The company I went through online filters everything through two other companies. So there's this crazy long process to communicating with the actual plumber that's supposed to come and do the job. I do know that it's still in my best interest to have somebody that knows what they're doing to take care of this rather than me destroying something. But it puts everything kind of on hold because I can't use my dishwasher. I can't really wash my dishes in my kitchen sink because there's that leak up under the sink, and if I'm washing dishes in the kitchen sink, what am I going to do? Keep a bucket under the sink and have that water just filter through it and it be a stinky old puddle underneath there? And then I have to dump that water in the toilet, and it's just a little too archaic and too much going on for me personally. I just want to be able to use my sink the way it's supposed to be used without any issues, without water draining out all over the place where I'm trying to put stuff underneath, without having to use a plunger to say, okay, water, time for you to go down the drain now. No, I just want everything to work the way it's supposed to work. So I'm in this holding pattern, waiting for the guy to come and take care of both sinks. And I'll be very, very happy when that's all done because I really wanted to do some stir fry today. That ain't happening because I'm not trying to make any extra dirty dishes or anything till this stuff is taken care of because I can't stand sink full of dishes. So for now, it's like microwave. Microwaving the leftovers that are in the refrigerator. Pop it in the microwave, take it out, eat that. And I remember, and I'm sure you do too, if you've been on my YouTube channel for the past couple of years, you know that I'm really not a super fan of the microwave. Um, but in situations like this, or situations where if I were really sick and not able to get around or do other things, that then I would also want to use the microwave. So thankful that I have one because I'm definitely using it now um, because it's just icky. It's just really icky. It's too much. I can't have filthy pots and pans and all that. So microwaving, eating those leftovers that's in the refrigerator, and eating lots of fresh produce, which, as you saw a few videos ago, the Sisters Camelot video, you saw that I got a lot of fresh produce. I wanted to take some of that and Instapot it with some vegetables and meat. Um, but right now that's not going to happen either because after I use the Instapot, I can't have that sitting dirty either. So everything is in a holding pattern while I'm waiting on this guy to come do my sink. But on a positive note, I got um, an indoor garden. I'll grab it real quick so you can see. See if you're able to check this out a little bit. It's kind of big, kind of really big. My indoor garden set. You've probably seen those on, as seen on TV commercials or whatever. This one, and when I ordered it online, of course, I like to do things as inexpensive as possible. And I have some friends that have the indoor garden sets where they buy the pods, and the pods already have the the seed in there for tomatoes or basil or whatever, and they just poke it down in those holes on that and have the water running underneath, and it works in a hydroponic kind of a way. But as I said, I do things in a cheaper way. So I got one that was less expensive. It still has the lighting system on it. It still has the holes for the pods and everything. But it's called the Veg Box. Everything came in this little cute little box, including the liquid fertilizer. Everything came in it except for the seeds. So I decided I was going to do some basil seeds, and probably can't see it very well, but there's like sponge in here with holes in them, and I had to use some tweezers and put one seed in each hole, and there's water underneath the sponge. I put the water under the sponge, and I added a little water to the top of each of the hole sections, not to make it where it's overflowing, but to just to cover the seeds enough that they can be wet and they can germinate. But it's been so daggone hot that the heat is kind of absorbing that water. So then I have to go back with the eyedropper or a straw that I stick in some water and take my finger off the end to just get just enough water in there to cover those seeds. Because after 24 hours, the seeds should be germinated if there's enough moisture kept in there. And then from that point on, I go to part two. Um, that's step one. I'd go to step two, where I'd be cutting those sponge squares out and sticking them in some little cups that come in this box, which I will show you that when I'm ready to move on to that phase. Hopefully, I can see the change in a lot of these seeds, but hopefully most of them do germinate and they'll start to get some little roots coming in the bottom so they can work with the cups in the set, and then they can be added to um, the indoor garden, and then the light can go on, and it has a cycle. The light cycles, for like day and night, so that it stays on so many hours and then it shuts off so many hours, and it mimics natural lighting, which helps the seeds to germinate, and then that way I'll be able to grow my own basil. That's all that I'm doing this first time around, this basil. Next time I'll do something else. It's cheap enough to buy one little pack of seeds. Didn't even use all the seeds. Maybe used a third of the seeds, a third to a half of them. So I'll have quite a bit of basil from this. I really wanted to do indoor gardening, especially since the soil around where I live is really not good for growing food, because I've got these tomatoes growing in the living room window. They're small cherry tomatoes though. But I really wanted to be able to put some things outside in the soil. But since someone from the University of Minnesota, um, Master Gardener, came out and said that it's really, the soil is really bad. and it needs to go through a long process, a healing process to get all the ickiness out of it so that it is decent for growing food. So that's why I'm not doing anything outside around my home this year. Perhaps I can do something at work. If not, not going to worry about it. At least I know I have an indoor garden and I'll get the swing of things with this one. I could have bought the more expensive brand and bought the little pods that are already have everything in there. But with that, then you have to keep going back and buying those daggone pods and doing it the same way. And if I just want to grow a certain thing, I should be able to have the seed, learn how to do it from scratch like this, and work with it. And so that's what I'm trying to do. I plan on working with it this way. Well, I won't take up any more of your time right now, but I hope you're having a good day and staying cool, staying hydrated, and I look forward to talking to you again soon.